Hello friends, welcome to GoodTecher LeetCode tutorial. Here we are going to solve word break coding problem. So given a non-empty string s and a dictionary word dict containing a list of unempty words, determine if the input string s can be segmented into a space-separate sequence of one or more dictionary words. So note here, the same word in the dictionary may be reused multiple times in the segmentation. You may assume the dictionary does not contain duplicate words. So for example, if an input string that's a LeetCode word dict that's a lead and code, output is true. Return true because LeetCode, this input string can be segmented by the space as lead and code both are the words in the word dictionary, so that's return true. The second example, if the input string that's apple pen apple, word dictionary is apple pen, return true because apple pen apple can be segmented by the space as apple pen apple. This shows this load. The same word in the dictionary may be reused multiple times in the segmentation. So apple appears twice in the input string, and after segmentation, that's apple pen apple. And all the words are in the word dictionary, so that's why it returns true. The third example, if the input string so pay attention here, that's a cat, sand, OG, and word dictionary, that's a cats, dog, sand, and cat. So if we try to segment by the cat, sand, OG not a word in the word dictionary, return false. And if we try to segment by the cats and OG is still not in the word dictionary. If we try to segment by the cat, sand, dog, sand, that's not in the word dictionary, so it still return false. No matter how hard we try to segment this word, we cannot find all the words in the word dictionary, so return false. Okay, let's try to devise our algorithm to solve this word break coding problem. So here, follow me. So suppose we have an input string that's a GoodTecher, and the word dictionary that's a good and techer. So our goal is to determine whether this input string is able to be segmented into the words, and these words all are in the word dictionary. So word break is a typical coding problem about dynamic programming. For the dynamic programming coding problem, so we should introduce a state variable. So state variable for this problem, we can call it as a is word break. So is word break is an array of Boolean variable, and it determines whether the ith character of this string can be segmented to the words that all the words are in the word dictionary. So that's a Boolean value. And for this simple example, we can easily notice that the GoodTecher can be segmented to the good and techer. So after D and before T, we can segment into two words, and these two words are both in the word dictionary. So use this state variable to indicate this observation. That would be that is word break tens. So tens character. So good, there are 4 character. Techer, that's 6 character. So that's a tens character. That's an N. So tens character of a GoodTecher is true. Can be segmented. And is word break tens character is true, can be segmented. That's because some conditions. And what are the conditions make this is word break the tens character to be true? And from our observation, we know that because the fourth character, if we put a j variable here, index variable here, that's the fourth character So the word starting from the first character to the jth character, this word is also can be indicated as true because it's a word that's a segment can be segmented into the word in the word dictionary. So its word breaks the fourth character, the word is a true, and at the same time, the rest of the word is also in the word dictionary. So in this, that's a substring. So the rest of word, so starting from the for the substring function, that's a index function. So for that means a fifth character. So starting from the t to the n, that's a word in this word dig. So these two conditions make this is word break the 10th character to be true. And what we can conclude from this observation is that we can use that to derive a general rules for the is word break ith place. So what determines the ith character? The ith character of the input string to whether be segment or not is the condition that before the ith character there's a place that we can segment the word. We can segment the word, that means is word break j. So that j place itself is true, can be segment. And at the same time, the rest of words, so that's a substring from the j to the ith, that substring, that's inside the word dig. So that means word dig, if that's a list, should contains this substring. So these two conditions, that's where it's already code that makes this is word break I character to be to determine whether ith character to be segment or not. And with these two conditions, we can generalize our rules. So here we can make this two conditions to the code and to finalize our program to solve this word break coding problem. So let's go back to the coding. So here we are at a place to code in Java. So as we mentioned, we should introduce an array of Boolean, a state variable called is word break, and the length of this array of Boolean would be the input string length plus 1. We plus 1 because that we are going to, it's not 0 based, so it starts from the 1. So like the 1th character means the 1 here means the 1st character of the input string. So at the beginning we can set is word break 0 place to be true. So suppose there's just an empty character. That empty character should always be in the word dictionary. Then we can have a for loop for each character length plus 1. And inside this for loop, we have a listed loop that we are going to check whether there's a j place can be segment. So j is less than the I, j plus plus. So if that jth place itself is not be able to segment, so we should stop. we should jump to the next iteration, because if the j itself, this example, if the c itself, we try to segment from here, c itself is not in the word dig, so we should go to next one. If pass this condition, we can check if the rest of the words is in the word dig, so that if word dig contains the substring starting from the j to the i's place, if that contains the word, that means this is word break, the i's character place. Ending with the I, it could be true, because at the beginning is word break this Boolean array. By default, every place is set with a false value. So here we can just simply change to true, and break this next inner loop. Break the inner loop to the next place, because we already find one j place in the I for the i's character of the string can be segment. So i's character ending with the i's character of the word can be segment. We already know that, so we can break. And in the end, for this whole word, we can just check is this input string. We can just check if the word breaks .string.length, then the end character whether it's a segment or not. Okay, quickly check if there are some typos. At the beginning, we initialize this Boolean array, and then it is the first one with a true, and have this nested loop to check each character of the input string whether it's able to be segment. And then just check the last character of this string to check whether it's a segment or not. Okay, let's click submit. Okay, accepted. So this is a correct solution for this word break coding problem. So as you can see, with this state variable help us to indicate which each place of this string whether it's a place to be segment, and in the end just check whether the last character of this input string can be segment, and we know whether this word is a word break place, whether it's able to be segment to the words in this word dictionary. Okay, so this is a typical coding problem about dynamic programming. It's very widely being asked during coding review, as you can see here. So just be more practice and get some ideas about be more familiar with dynamic programming, and you will see for the similar coding problem, you can use the same similar idea to solve that. Okay, so this is all about this today's word break coding problem. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscription to GoodTecher channel. So see you next time.